Hi class, so we're going to be talking a little bit about your portfolio design to finish up this course. So what is a portfolio? It's basically a way to display your art and design work. It can be a website, it can be digital files. Back in the olden days, we would have printed materials that you could take around in a book or leave somewhere. And the audience of your portfolio would be potential clients, future employers, or you can sometimes make a portfolio if you're applying to a school. It can be for an art school, you might be required to submit a portfolio of your work, or it can be a supplement when applying to schools. Also, as students, it's a great way to record your artistic growth so you can see where you began and how much you've learned. So it's a nice way to sort of celebrate all of your learnings. So how do you choose the images that go in your portfolio? Well, for this class, you're going to include everything that you created in this course, everything that is finished. And each image should show your technical skills. So you want to show any future employers or clients or schools what you're capable of, the techniques that you've learned and what you can do for them, right? You can also add work created outside this course, but if you do include any extra images, just make sure that they're showing off your technical skills. You know, less is really more here. We want to just show the best of what you have, and it's better to have a few things than, you know, just throwing everything in there. So it's a way to edit. And making revisions is a really important part of your portfolio. So I think of a portfolio as a living document. You know, it's never really finished. You're always going to be editing and updating it. So an image that is ready to go in your portfolio, a portfolio quality image, should be finished and ready to display as an end product. So that could be anywhere from hanging in a gallery to on a website, in a printed book or magazine. So it should feel finished. I know that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different artists and designers. So you get to kind of choose what that means for you and your portfolio. And in terms of this class, if you really skipped some of the requirements on any projects or you rushed through them, you know, now's a good time to finish them and make those revisions. You probably learned a lot of new skills, so you might go back to earlier projects and clean them up a little bit or add a little extra to them to make them look great. I am always here to help you with feedback. If you're not sure about something, if you're not sure if it's portfolio quality, you can always send me an email with an attachment of the image, and I'll be happy to give you some suggestions. You know, your portfolio, as I said, is like a living document. It's always going to be added to and updated. You're going to make edits to it regularly and just keep your best work to show off your skills. So the portfolio design, this is one of my favorite things to do for my own portfolio and to help students with. You're really deciding the order of your images. So this is important because someone's going to be looking through it really quickly, and you want to start strong and finish strong so they leave looking at your portfolio with a good impression. So take time to just think about the order of your images. What's your first image? How are you drawing the person in? How are you making them want to continue to look? So you can think of it, I think of it in two ways, in groupings or visual narrative. So groupings can be something like if you have all black and white photos, or if you have all drawings, you can group those together. A visual narrative is if you have images that kind of tell a story. For example, I had one student recently who had a photo of an open door, and then there was other images that went along with that, but the open door was the first image because it was kind of drawing our eye in and starting off that visual narrative. It doesn't have to be really obvious what the visual narrative is, but if it means something to you, I think it can be more interesting to other people looking at it. Another important thing is to remove any distractions. We want to make sure your work is the main focus. So don't use any templates or graphics on your slide presentation. Just keep it simple, either black or white background, and any text should be a really simple font. Everything should be easy to look at and easy to read. I want you to just put one image on each slide. So don't make a slide with a bunch of different images, because we don't want things competing with each other. You want the person looking at it to have time to look at each slide. And you're definitely going to have to include an introduction slide. So make sure to include your name and contact information. Some people put this at the front, some people put it as the last slide. You could do it as the first and last slide, because we're thinking of this as a way to get a job or get a client, and you want to make sure they can contact you after seeing it. You're going to save your presentation as a PDF file. If you make it in PowerPoint or Google Docs, that's really simple to do. And the reason for this is that PDF files can be opened on most devices. So if you make your presentation in PowerPoint, and send it as a PowerPoint file, the person you're sending it to has to have PowerPoint on their device. Now, you might be sending it to someone who's going to look at it on their phone, and they're not going to, probably don't have PowerPoint on their phone. I mean, they might, but most people don't. So they might not be able to view it, and it might be frustrating for them. So making a PDF is just an easy way that anyone can look at the file. It also keeps all your formatting, so everything is going to stay the way you want it to be. All your fonts and your image size and everything is going to stay the way that you designed it. So the PDF is really important for keeping your design elements. So I'm here to help you. Just reach out to me with any questions. I want you to feel confident with your portfolio. I want it to be something that you're proud of, and I want this to be an enjoyable experience. All right, I'm here if you have any questions.